Shavua Tov, welcome to our Saturday night Zohar. Shira, we were talking here in Parshat Shlach, another name for Mashiach. And we see that throughout the Talmud, there are names for Mashiach. And why does Mashiach get different names? Well, the Talmud also teaches us that Moses had 7 different names. Because each time he got a new job, a new status, a new mission, he got a new name. Why did he need a new name? For the new mission. Because just like angels, human beings are encoded in their names, and their name is an encoding of their mission. And so your name, whoever you are, wherever you are, contains the sparks of your mission. And when you know your mission, you're a focused person. You're happier. You're more connected to why you're here. And when we know why we're here, we feel better. We're suffering less because there's a reason for this madness. There's a reason for the suffering and the disconnection and the existential question that does not want to seem to stay answered. So here we have with another name and another mission. 2, Patach v'Amar. The Zohar says also, Al har gavoa ale lecha mevaseret Zion. This is from Divrei Yamim. Yeshaya. Jump sources here. The prophet said, high above me, for you, mevaseret Zion. An announcement will be made to Zion. Interesting, an announcement to Zion. Al har gavoa, well, the verse starts al har on a high mountain. What mountain? High v'dai har avarim. Atar de Moshe. It's Kabar. The Zohar calls it the mountain of sins. Now we know that Moshe was buried over across the river there on Har Nivo, which is Baal Peor, the place of these idol worshippers. That God puts the holiest person in the most unholy place to protect us, to form a shield, a spiritual force field against negativity. And that's always the system. We saw this week's Parsha also, that Kalev ben Yefunah went to Hebron to pray by the fathers, the forefathers, not to be involved with the advice of the other 11 princes of Israel that were taken in by the visions of fear that they saw here in Israel. And they wanted to stay in the desert because it's easier when, God provides the clouds of glory and the pillars of fire and the food and water and everything's good. Why do I need to go into Israel and struggle for the, with the government? No, but we see there's always a principle. Wherever the most unholy thing is, God puts the most holy. And wherever the most holy is, God will bring the unholy. We see it in neighborhoods in Jerusalem. We see it in this country. God said he'll put Israel in the heart of the Goyim, of the nations who will come against you. It's because the other side is always looking for the light. And we have the light, whether we like it or not, whether we accept the mission or not. And so upon this high mountain where Moses is buried, where there's a lot of negative forces, where also the rabbis also established that the divine presence will go to there. And make an announcement to the world. What's the announcement to the world? Is it a hard idea to think of, a divine presence making an announcement to the world? There's only 8 billion microphones inside all our heads. Is that a difficult idea? Well, we know that Moses would hear the Shekhinah and no one else would, except when the mountain, on the mountain, God came down and spoke to every single Jew, 3.2 million people. And they didn't hear it outside like with loudspeakers, big Bose speakers up on the stadium stage. No, everybody heard it in their own ear. God speaks from the inside of reality out, from the inside of every soul outward. And so if he spoke to 3.2 million, then it's not much more of an effort for God to speak to 8 point however billion there's going to be pretty soon. And the Shekhinah is going to go to the place of Moses because he's the root soul for all the prophets. All the prophets are drawing their prophecy through Moshe. That's a very important secret to understand. It's not like there's just prophets or individuals operating on their own. Not at all. They're all receiving the word from the same source. And it's through the soul of Moses where the Shekhinah dwelled the most in history. Aval kolaihu. But nonetheless, this announcement that's going to be made on that mountain however, everything is together. Mivaser Tzion, the idea of making an announcement to Zion. Da'ihu Heftzibah. Heftzibah means he desired her, but it's also a name. He desired her, the Shekhinah, Itata, God's wife. Well, he created himself a wife from the divine presence that eventually ended up in the Jews. Natan bar David. And then this Hefzibah was the wife that was given to one of David's sons, Natan. The Ima, Ihi, the Mashiach. And this mother, Hefzibah, would be the mother of the Mashiach. Oh, that's interesting. In other words, King David came, he did what he did. He almost made it to be Mashiach. He was an anointed king. He did fortify the city of Jerusalem, but he didn't build the temple. So he didn't finish the mission. King Solomon came and built the temple, but he fell also. But nonetheless, we see here that there was this mother of Mashiach, is called Hefzibah, who is the Ima of the Mashiach, and Menachem bar Amiel is his name. Now a new name for Mashiach, Menachem bar Amiel. Ve'ihi tifuk mivaser te'ihu mechlala de mivaser Tzion. And then this Menachem, the son of Amiel, is included together with this concept of the announcing of the Mashiach. And a voice will be heard in the world. It's not going to be a hidden event. And what will happen when the announcement will come? It's not going to be a simple day. Two kings will come to war with each other. V'yipuk shema kedisha al alma. And there will go out a holy name upon the world. A holy name spreading on the world means a force field of energy will be released in the world. What will it announce? V'tema hinei Hashem Eloki b'chazak yavo v'zar'o mishalah lo hinet scharo ito upulato lefanav. So this long sentence goes like this. This voice that will come out upon the world when these two kings are fighting, when the name of Menachem ben Amiel is announced, according to the Zohar, and as we said, Mashiach had been given many names. Hashem Elokim b'chazak, God, the judge, with power will come, and his arm will reach out, ve'hine scharo ito, and his reward is with him, upulato lefanav, and his activities, his mission is before him. Hine scharo ito. Well, what does that mean? Dekucha berichu kariz bekol palmayr de le'ela. Alone, so God will announce to all the angels above and say to them, It kanshu come together, join, enter, v'de'ino dina. And we want you to judge the judgment. Man de masar nishmate al kedushat shmi. About the one who gave over his soul for my name. See, it's back to the concept we've dealt with many times. That self-sacrifice is the concept of the Mashiach. That's the root of the soul. And that's why every Jew has a spark of that. Because every Jew knows that there's a part of them that will die for God. But that's the part that we're okay with that part dying, because there's also a part of this that will never die. And my name is a reward. What does that mean? God's name is the reward? Or God's name carries the reward? See, because the name is a force field of energy, so if you got one of those, you're in good shape. And it will be called so-and-so. And the one that survives and suffers from being shamed for God, and cursed for God, and every day, that's the type of soul that's suffering self-sacrifice. To be a Jew and be shamed as a Jew is a level. They're just walking down the street in Brooklyn and someone throws another egg at you. But he asks again, Mahu igra, what is the reward? Inun amar kach. He says this is what he's going to say. Man de it adnash bechol yomai alai, the one that will be punished for me, God says. Mahu gara, what will be his reward? Inun amrim kach. Da duhu dechtiv tzriz lehine scharo ito upurato lefanav. His reward is already with him. That's carrying God's name is the reward. Now that seems like a tautology, where it's a fancy word for saying to somebody, well, it's that way because it's that way. You know what you say to kids, when they ask a question that you don't want to answer. Is that what God's doing here? Really? Is that what it is? I don't think the Zohar came to teach us that. Rather, his name is the reward. And they carry that with you always. So Mahu Pulato. And what is his activity? His mission, Ela Kamadichti, as is written. Marav Tuvcha. What is your abundant greatness that you have put away for your righteous? Palto Lechosimbach. And his activity is Lechosimbach, to cover over and to protect you. Huda Pulato. He's coming out to protect the Jews. Neged b'nei Adam, against the people that would come against the Jews. Ela neged umot olam, which is against, of course, the nations of the world that are expressly against God. And there's plenty of people like that, unfortunately. Asher tzafanta lirecha, and this reward, this great reward that you have foreseen for those who fear you, ma'u asher tzafanta, what did God foresee? God saw that they were going to come against him. He knew this. That's part of the paradox of the Jewish mission. We have to represent something and somebody that's good for us that nobody else wants. And it's self-destruction. The one who will come and decree and steal from his hands. This is the one that God foresaw that he would give his reward. The reward in the end is protection, because the world is good. See, life is good. The world is good. Humanity makes it not so nice, right? And God says to the Jews, come on, go out there and live according to my Torah, and I'll protect you. And that'll be your reward, because life is good as it is. The world is functioning perfectly until man throws the rod in the spoke, right? Until man throws the vaccine in the air. Oh, did I say that? No, I meant the virus. I think the vaccine's an extension. We're not going to talk about that now. But the whole point is that if you look around you, everything is nice. If the air is clean and the water is clean and the food is good and the basics are met, and that's how the world is created, perfect to begin with. We don't need a miracle. We are living miracles. But because of our behavior, we need more miracles than we already have because we need protection. And so the Mashiach comes with this, well, I want to call it a blanket. That's kind of cozy, right? A blanket of protection. And that's God's names. And that's why the old time Kabbalists, they would wear medallions with God's name on it. It's a good practice. Now, if you go around today with medallions of God's name on it, people are going to think you're a little bit off the edge. But that's okay. You can wear it under your shirt. No one will see, no one will know, and that's the best way to do things. But you see, what the Zohar is teaching us is that really God is his own reward, and a close relationship is the greatest reward. And if I can accept that and forget about winning the lottery as my great reward, or being famous and all this nonsense. What is fame? People are going after crazily today because Facebook is a fame manufacturer. And all social media is the chance for everybody to become famous. What is fame? It's the imagination of other people thinking about you. Well, isn't that cool? Isn't that what I'm here for? To think about other people thinking about me. If that's not juvenile, I don't know what is. If I don't know if it's a waste of time. He said, well, no, fame gets you money. And then you think, well, now I have money. What does money get you? A little more comfort. So your eggs are a little better in the morning. Your steak is better at night. Your shirt is a little more expensive. Is that it? Is that why I'm here to suffer? No, we're here to suffer to reveal the oneness of creation and the perfection of our Creator. And when we do that, all the rewards follow. So, Shavua Tov, have a great week. Take this to heart. Listen to it again. Share it with your friends. You know, you want to remember what you learn in Torah? Tell it to somebody else and you'll remember it. That's part of the secret of memory. God bless you all. We'll be on all the outlets and we'll look for you for more of the wonderful Zohar. All the best.